Cowboy Logic, Episode 9, Silent Night on the Battlefield. Back to Cowboy Logic. I'm Ann Dunbar, and today's story is one that I've lived in my heart for as long as I can remember. Christmas has just passed, and this time of year always brings me back to something Daddy used to tell me. It wasn't about gifts, trees, or stockings hung by the fire. It was about a moment on a battlefield. A moment when the world, just for a breath, remembered peace. I want to share that moment with you today. I was a kid. Every Christmas Eve, my dad would tuck me and my brother into bed and read the night before Christmas. We didn't have much. Sometimes we got one gift under the tree, or some candy in our stockings, or even oranges that we rarely ever got. But as long as my dad read that story, it felt like Christmas magic was real to us. And when we got older, old enough to know that Santa wasn't real, but still young enough to know what wonder was and to believe in it, my daddy shared another Christmas story with us, not from a book or a song, but from his own memory, long before any singer ever put it to music. He told us the version he'd heard growing up, passed quietly from one soldier to another. He told us about a soldier, tired, cold, standing in the middle of a battlefield, explosions all around him, gunfire lighting up the dark. Men so far from home, their hearts ached with it. And then in the middle of that chaos, the soldier began to sing, Silent Night, Holy Night. My dad said the shooting didn't stop right away. It was like the world resisted the quiet, clung to the noise just a little longer. But that one voice kept singing, and slowly, slowly, the gunfire faded. The explosion stopped, and one by one, voices from both sides, men who would have been enemies, started singing the same song. For just a moment, one tiny moment, the world paused and remembered peace. My daddy said it was the most beautiful thing he had ever heard. My dad told that story every Christmas, and every year it hit me a different way. When I was a teenager, it sounded like a legend, something too good to be true. When I got older and life broke me a little, I understand it was real because it had to be, because people need hope, because even in darkness, someone always has to be the one to stand up and sing. And my daddy, he was that kind of man. Quiet, steady, and strong. Kind of man who'd stand up in the middle of a heartache and sing if it meant giving someone else hope. His birthday was December the 22nd. And in every year around this time, I feel him close. It's like that soldier song is still echoing somewhere in my chest. Christmas isn't perfect. Life isn't perfect. But that moment, that truth, it reminds me that peace isn't the absence of trouble. It's a choice we make in the middle of it. Right? I think about that story. My characters are all living in their own battlefields, not with bullets and bombs, but with fear, grief, danger, and old wounds that haven't healed. Gabe protecting his children with everything he has. Anya running from something that still breathes down her neck. Bet fighting for love in a world that hasn't always been kind. And Garrett facing darkness he didn't ask for, but refuses to run from. Every single one of them has a moment where they have to stand up, even trembling, and choose hope. Choose love, peace, life, just like that soldier. Maybe that's why I write the way I do, because someone taught me long ago that even when the world is loud and cruel, one voice can still make everything stop and listen. My daddy's gone now, but his story, it's still here. A reminder that one act of courage, one act of softness can change everything. Christmas, well, it's not about what we have. It's about what we give. Our kindness, our strength, and our hope. A tired soldier sang one night, and peace answered him back. If that can happen on a battlefield, it can happen anywhere. Today's Cowboy Logic is this. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is be the first one to stand up and sing. Thank you for sharing this time with me on Cowboy Logic. My stories, starting over in Montana, Anya's Salvation, and Bet's Christmas Gamble, are all echoes of this truth. Even in darkness, love finds a way to shine. I'll be back next week with another story, another piece of wisdom, another thread in this quilt we're making together. Until then, may your nights be silent and may your heart be brave enough to sing.